Yeah, I've been debating doing this video for like years. And um yeah. This is not going to be like a joyful fun video like my vlog. Um this is going to be real time, guys. This is going to be real talk. This is going to be real moments. Um I hope though out of all of this maybe you guys get a little bit of insight and you get a little bit more aware, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So just to kind of point out where this comes from or where this stems from and why I was like, okay, let me do it and put it out there. Yesterday I found out the Double HP passed away. If you guys don't know who that is a Motswako rapper here in South Africa, and he was amazing. Like, listen, what would summer be without Jabba, guys? And from what we've been gathering, and we've known that he's had a problem with like depression and stuff, and my eczema is like peaking. So sorry if you guys see my elbows ashy. Yeah. But ironically, the day before, I had been meditating, and because I meditate quite a bit. It's something I don't share also. I meditate quite a bit to try and make sure that I'm always in the right mental state and everything else like that. So I just put up on my WhatsApp, on my Insta story, that it is essential to take care of your heart and your mental state. And sometimes we are so caught up in our darkness and in that pain and the hurt and just the darkness. It's pure darkness, né? That we don't realize we're actually at the end of the tunnel and the light is there, right? But your darkness consumes you so much that everything just seems dark. And I was thankful to God that I'm so aware of my mental state. So let's start here. I was not clinically diagnosed with depression and anxiety. I wasn't at all. I'm not a person like, okay, let's paint this picture for you. Two years ago, yeah, 2 years ago and a couple of months ago. Didn't want to cry, but reality is I'm going to cry. My sister was pregnant with my nephew. Exciting times. My mom had just bought this house. Super exciting times. And so we were going to have a housewarming, and my nephew was born already, and my grand was going to see my nephew for the first time. So I was home. I was gearing to leave that day to come to Bloom, if I'm not mistaken. It was either that day or the day after. And it was in the morning, and my grand was actually coming to Bloom that day. So it's in the morning. It's like early hours. Like, my grand likes to travel very early, guys. I get a phone call, and it's my mom. But I answer, it's my mom's boyfriend that's talking. So I'm like hella confused, and I'm hearing he's saying something grandmother and like, you know, and I'm like, what? And I drop the phone. I can't hear exactly what they're saying. Calls me again, and then he says it. Something is wrong with your grandma. She died trying to come, and it was like, so I like fall to the ground, and I'm crying. I know I feel that I'm crying, but I feel like I'm looking into myself, but I'm in tears. And nothing is comprehending, nothing is clicking, like they're not connecting. And so I was crying. My grand passed away, tears. I didn't feel it, I didn't understand it, I didn't get it, it didn't register. So cool. Now I have to switch up from going to Bloom to going to Gwagwa. I'm calling my cousins because I had cousins in Joburg. I'm calling my cousins to see, are we all going to travel together? What's going to happen? So I'm now on the move, right? I'm on the move. And already my mind program is that, oh my gosh, my mom and my sister are not going to be okay. They're not going to be okay. Why I say that, it's because My relationship with my grandmother was so us. Nah. My grandmother got and understood me on a level that I think no human being actually gets me right now. But she always, in as much as she understood that I have a creative side that I needed to express, I have all of these now. But she said, be stable first and then, damn, here. And then explore everything. So then I was like, okay, they're not going to be okay. So already I am programming myself to kind of be like the strong one, to be the one that's seeing them through, because their relationship to everybody in our family was closer, right? It was way closer. So fine, I'm like already in that state of I'm going to be the strong one. So I'm not processing anything whatsoever. Personally, I'm not processing nothing. You're not processing anything. We get there, we go through, I don't want to be too long, we go through the funeral. Cool. One of the letdowns I've ever felt in my life, and this is going to be hard to say, was my family never took the time to turn back and say to me, are you okay? I was like constantly checking up on everyone. Even after the funeral, I was constantly checking up on everyone. Is everybody okay? Is everybody doing well? Is everybody... But there never came a point where any of my close family, right? Because I regard my friends as my blood family, was like, Mara, are you okay? So switch up after that. From the funeral, I haven't processed, nor have I dealt with anything. I switch into party mode. Ugh. Ew, bad cry. Okay, we're looking kind of decent again. So from there, I switched into party mode. Mind you, there was also a period in my life when I wasn't struggling with school per se. I just didn't want to be at school. I didn't want to be at varsity. I didn't want to be involved in it. Yes, I was good at it, but I was just like, I can't do this anymore. So I wasn't attending classes. I wasn't doing assignments. I wasn't doing jack shit. So that time was also a time where I figure in my spirit, it's the first time I ever experienced the darkness, as I call it, which is like slightly depression. Because I can't sit here and claim it because I wasn't clinically diagnosed, right? So cool, I went into party mode. And if you're not within my circle, that particular circle, you were not relevant in my life. You were not a moment, you were not a situation, you were not everything. I was in party mode, and it wasn't the alcohol that made me better. It was the fact that my surrounding was constantly moving. It was constantly changing because you're going to this club, you're going to that club. So I was in that space, and I appreciate my friends because I think one of my downfalls in life is the fact that I'm so stubborn that had they tried to intervene at that time, I would have lashed out even more. Therefore, I would have been stuck in that party mode for like forever. And I'm a fixing myself person. Ugh, let's tie this up a bit. I'm a fixing myself person. Right, so I like to fix myself. I like to make sure that I'm okay. I like to make sure. Let's see, it's annoying me because I'm trying to also not cry. So okay, that happened. I was in party mode. I was toxic. Like I feel like the person I was with at that time was just like, wow, I can't deal with this. And in as much as they would express that you are different, you are different. You don't care much. You don't. I was just like, I am going through stuff. Can you just understand? Do you get? And to a certain degree, he got it. But then he was just like, but you can't behave. You can't continue this behavior. So fine, it happened. January came in. So you see, I partied from like literally my grand passed away in September. From January to December, I was in party mode. January, I became toxic to myself, to the people around me. I was very dark eternally. I could be in bed from Monday till Thursday, and then I only get out of bed on Fridays because I know I'm going to party, so I'd be in bed. If you guys noticed, there was a point where my channel was gone, was like not a channel. And in that moment, right, in that time period, I sat down once and I was sitting there and I was like, Lord, because I've always been a person that knew I had a greater destiny. I think we all feel like that, you know. But I was like, Lord, never mind the destiny. Never mind what you have brought me out here to do. I cannot do this anymore. I cannot do this life thing. I cannot do this anymore. And I think for 3 days straight, all I was thinking about was killing myself. And I wasn't going to be those people that was going to leave a note or whatever and do all of that. No. I was there thinking, I'm in the house most of the time by myself and people only clock in like later on. I was like, this could be so easy, you know? This really could be easy. And I remember I was sitting in bed and I was like, okay, let me talk to my inner self. Tune out the noise of suicide, tune out the noise of pain, the sounds of hurt. Because I was really hurt, I was angry. A lot of things were going on inside me. And I was like, let me silence the noise, you know? And I cried. And I cried so much that I feel like I woke up. I really feel like I woke up because I tried talking to somebody before and it didn't work out. I am not, like, I don't know, it doesn't work out for me, but I guess the person was not like suited for me. And I feel like I woke up and I was like, God, I'm not okay. I am not okay. And I don't know how I'm going to be okay. And because I've always found refuge in God, right? I'm one of those people, I've always found refuge in God. I am not like a religious person, but I'm a very spiritual person. And I'm a Christian. So I was like, I'm not okay. And I don't know how to be okay. And in that moment, man, in my tears, in all of those things, in that weakness, because though I'm a crier, right? I cry about like fun things. Like if there's somebody dies in a movie, I'll cry. If I'm extra happy, I'll cry. If I'm really mad, I'll cry, you know? But for like the deeper things, I try to always be strong. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And I still didn't know. But that moment was the moment that changed my life. That's the moment where I silenced everything. And I wasn't praying. I wasn't like, okay, it's regarded as praying. But all I did for the next like couple of days, I spoke to God. I vented out every single thing that I felt like happened that was wrong to me. And I had to come to an understanding that people deal with grief differently and mourning differently. And you can't expect people who are in darkness to also come and pull you out of darkness. How? Because they're just pulling you into their darkness. You understand? So I was just like, I can't do this. But then I remembered the person that I'd actually spoken to. Nobody really knows about this. The person was like a psychologist, a therapist, a counselor, something like that. Had said to me, get out the house. Just get out the house. Because at that time I was living in my grand's, I can't even wear it now because I feel like it's such a symbol of my state. And it used to make me cry all the time. My grand had this knitted jersey. And my grand used to knit quite a bit. I would wear it consistently without fail. It would be my blanket, right? I was like, get out the house. Start doing certain things that outside of your usual routine. So I would get out the house, go walk, you know, walk. And while I'm walking, I may look crazy to the next person, but I'm talking to God. And I was just like, and I would be talking every day and I'd be affirming certain things every day because I needed to do that. Or else I would be in a state of panic. So I know this video does not have like the answers, because I don't have the answers. Honestly, I don't. But every time I find myself creeping into that state, because when things go wrong and things don't go your way, we are human. You want to revert into darkness. It's more comfortable. I have to silence out that noise, that devil that comes and it's like, you're not good enough. Look at everyone else. You know, you have to learn to silence that noise, and it's hard because some days everything is against you. Some days, and it's hard when you're trying to push something that's not known in your family, and every 5 minutes you are somewhat reminded that you are not at the level of this person, that person, this person, that person. So you have to learn to like silence out the noise. Like, just, it's hard, guys. And I don't even know, like, I don't even have the answers still. I'm just here like, this is my story. To get cleaned up because I have to film. It's my filming day, so I have to film another video after this. Yeah. So I don't have all the answers, but I can only tell you guys what has worked for me thus far. Meditation has helped. I try to have a full-blown, like a full 30 minutes of meditation once a week. Then during the days, it's just affirmations. It's just me affirming certain things. And also, you need to understand your triggers that cause you to slip into that state. I have my triggers and they're self-inflicted. It's not external ones. It's when you've known that you're destined for greatness, which is all of us, I won't lie. When you know that you're destined for greatness, but greatness is taking a while. Like, greatness is dragging you, and it's, and you sit there sometimes and you're like, I can't even handle this. Let me just give up. But you have to remember that you need to understand these moments and you need to learn this hardship so that when you're great, you don't just fall off, So you need to understand, first you need to find, meditation is what works for me, right? So find your point of strength. What revives your spirit? What revives your mind? And this is, maybe, let me not be like, this is the way to, but this is what has worked for me. And maybe my case is not severe. So if you, I don't even know how you measure, I don't even know, guys. But for me, these are the things that have worked for me, and I'm not a doctor, so don't take me for Bible. But number one is find what gives you strength. And for me, meditation and prayer give me strength. Talking and engaging with God gives me strength. Listen, y'all can sit there and be going to church but still be depressed. If you don't have, for me, if I don't have my relationship with God aligned, I'm not immune. What's the word? I'm easy to depression that way, right? It's meditation and prayer. Number two is to know your triggers. There are triggers, there are little things that actually pull you into the darkness. For example, for me, whenever I feel uninspired, whenever I feel like I have a creative block, whenever I feel like I can't express this creativity that I want, whenever I'm working, like I've been trying to do this one Halloween look for so long, that it goes from, this is difficult, to, why can't I get this, to, am I even good at makeup? And then it will get to a point of, really, I just suck at this thing. So you need to know your triggers. And that is like an example of one of my triggers. Identifying that whenever I do have that trigger that week, my meditation is not just for 30 minutes. And it's not just for 1 week, for 1 day out of the week. It's like I have to talk to myself over and over and over and over and over again. Number three, it's surrounding yourself with positive people. Not unrealistic people, where we could literally be in a fire and the person's like, we're good, we're good. Not unrealistic people. Positive people in the sense of people who are realistic, people who can analyze situations, and people who can come out with a semi-decent solution. I found that my best friend, Letty, who you guys saw in the vlog, Letty gives me the truth. You know, some moments I don't want to hear it. Some moments I'm just not in the mood for it. But she will give it to me because there is no use surrounding yourself with yes people. They just gas you up, and the fall is going to be hella because there was no foundation. The fall is going to be so great because you're floating on air. Once you realize, okay, I'm on air, you're going to fall so hard. So it's surrounding yourself with positive, realistic people. And also, knowing your worth helps. Knowing that, yes, you're destined for greatness. And yes, this is the moment to suffer. And yes, this is the moment for a trial and a tribulation. It helps. It really does help because you are able to draw strength from those shortcomings. You're able to draw strength from the trials. You're able to draw strength from that situation. You are able to lift yourself up and say, okay, it's a setback, but it's just there for a greater comeback. Like, you are able, those little sayings, guys, those little mantras, you need to have a mantra for your life. Like, you need to find something that gets you out of your funk, you know? And that really, those like, and then also if guys, it's getting that deep, if it's getting there, I'm going to try put down contact details for suicide lines, for helpline. I'm going to try to do my best just to put everything in the description bar below. If it's feeling like it's really, really overwhelming you, it's okay to ask for help. And that's hard for me to even say, but it is okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, I am not okay and I am not doing okay. If you need to check in somewhere for 2 weeks so that you can deal with your mental state, go for it. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Don't let nobody tell you this. If you feel like you are not okay, never mind all the responsibilities you have. You can't face them in that state. Check in somewhere. Listen, nut house or whatever y'all want to call it. If that place helps a person, go in and go for it. Like, people will talk, people always have something to say, but helping yourself is more essential than anything and anyone else. You know? So yeah, I know this video was everywhere, but I feel so strongly about mental illness and more so depression because that's what I experience. I don't have anxiety. I don't have like panic attacks. I don't have moments where I'm feeling like super anxious, like I don't have any of that. But I know myself and I know my mind when I'm about to slip into something that it's going to take me a while to draw out of if I don't deal with it in that moment. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I'm sorry those tears and I look very ugly. I'm very sorry about that. I hate like my cry face, but yeah. I don't even want to say all the other things in this outro, but take care of yourself, guys. Self-care is the most important thing you can give yourself. Self-care. Care for you, your well-being, your mental, your spiritual, your emotional, and your physical. Take care of each and every aspect of yourself before you try to take care of somebody else. You can't fix the world, and you are not fixed. You can't help anybody if you are not okay. Be selfish in every moment. Whenever you feel like you are not okay, it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to say, I'm taking a step back and I'm going to look into myself. Because sometimes we take on other people's issues so much that you yourself, you are failing. And you don't even notice because you just feel like you're doing this really good thing. That's why you get home, but you're so exhausted. Because you've been dealing with other people, but not yourself. You're drawing from a negative. You don't even have anything to give. But still you are drawing and giving and giving. Guys, take care of yourselves, eh? Take care of yourselves and love yourself and value yourself. And don't let depression be what defines you. It's not. It's something we go through and we get out of stronger. because now my drawing into depressions are so far less than what they used to be. Like, and even if I do slip into it slightly, it's not as long and as prolonged, because I have formulas that I have set into place to say, this is how I'm going to take care of myself if I feel myself slipping. But anyway, we'll be back to regular programming of makeup in the next video. So don't think I'm just trying to depress y'all all the time. We'll be back into it after this, because I'm about to actually film it. So don't forget that makeup is not key to your beauty. It's merely glitter on a Mona Lisa. Bye!